at work. Any area that I don't like, it fails. Even now, the area I don't like working, work stops coming there. How is that? As if they're giving me something, these aliens. Or maybe I have control of this illusionary world just as much as they do, but maybe not quite as much, because then I'd be able to make it known to you, but then aren't I doing that? Maybe I have as much control, maybe I could wake myself up, maybe this is like sleep paralysis. Sleep paralysis. Didn't I say that already? Did I? Can I wake myself up? And if I did, what would happen anyway? Maybe many of us sleepers have awoken and we've just been erased and got rid of and then replaced by somebody else. Maybe I'm the dream within a sleeper of this existence. Who's real and who's not? Who's having the dream? Who is the dreamer of existence? And who is the player of it? And love, of course, love. I have all the attributes of someone who should have so much love, so many friends, and I can count both my friends and lovers on one hand. And why is that? Coincidence? Or because they don't want me to have that? They're denying me it. The indicator. Red nose indicator, that was it, that was it, that was what I was trying to think of. That is the way I thought for some strange reason. Maybe it was just to make my red nose feel better, that those with red noses are the ones that are real. But why would that be? Because some kind of, whatever they're doing to our brains is causing our blood in this illusionary world to formulate around this area and cause red noses. Because it's using so much more blood than it should be, and it's storing it around this area, and that's what gives us these red noses, because that's what my friend at work had as well, the one that I tried to explain and he wouldn't understand. Who would understand? Those who are like me or those who are not? In a story or a play, is it the writer and the director who understand, or those who are on the stage? And can they communicate with each other if that's transposed into this existence that I believe is created within my mind? And all my friends, of course. What happened to them? They just disappeared. As a child, I remember one of them was very friendly with my very first friend, and he didn't want to be with me anymore. He wanted to be with the gangs who were more popular, because I wasn't, and he left me. And I remember a moment as if from some kind of Philip K. Dick book, when he was asked to do something he didn't really want to, and I remember him looking into my eyes. Did I imagine that, or did that actually take place? And my next friend, what happened with him? Oh, we went summer term, and I remember I was going to the dentist, and of all coincidences I passed the flat where he lived. And as I was coming out with my parents, he called out to me and I waved to him. Did that really take place, or have I just imagined that afterwards? What is the coincidence of that if this isn't an illusionary world, as if this isn't an existence created with my mind? For a second time, and then when I came back in autumn, he wasn't there. And a friend told me that he had moved to Guernsey without even a goodbye. And that final wave, when I was at the dentist, was the wave goodbye that I never knew. How painful a way is that for a child to learn of loss? It's like a story, isn't it? You couldn't imagine that, coupled with all the other things that have taken place. All the other friends that have deserted me for no apparent reason, when yet most people respect me and say I have all the attributes that anyone would desire to have, and yet if that were the case, then why have I found myself in this situation? Because it's being manipulated, because it isn't even real, because it can't be real. It can't be. Can't be. It's just an existence. Just an existence. Taps dripping now. That wasn't dripping before. Maybe I imagined it as some kind of additional background so that my lonely heart wouldn't be the only sound that I heard. Lonely heart, of course. And remember that girl at work who came a few days after my birthday and came and wished me a happy belated birthday and gave me a kiss on the cheek. And no woman had ever done that before. And this woman was a complete stranger. Why such an act of kindness? And then, for when I returned the favour by writing volumes of eloquent poetry, she didn't even thank me for it. Yet why show such a kind act in the first place and not then respond to another kind act? Because it wasn't real, it didn't really exist, it wasn't part of the plot line of these creatures that are manipulating my mind, because they just want to see pain, misery, suffering. That's what they want to see from me, because they want to try and capture that so that they can transpose that into millions of people, maybe like some kind of brainwave pattern they want to translate and then broadcast throughout the skies. And then every mind will hear it. And then will replicate it. Of course, replicate it. Are we not replicants of my mind? Replicants of human beings, replicants of human emotions, of how life used to be. But why did she never respond? Because if we look at it logically, if someone comes up and gives you a kiss, what does that mean? And then if you respond by writing volumes of poetry thanking that person, or even questioning that person why they would show that kindness and then not follow it up, not even a thank you, and yet a kiss is much more than a thank you. So what would be the person's motive for giving a kiss but not a thank you? It makes no sense. Unless this existence is not real at all. And one of the things that I'm doing lately, things that I never could have done before, how is it possible for a person to change so much? I used to feel so much, feel so many emotions, and now I don't. Why don't I feel any emotions anymore other than anger and pain and misery? Because they burn them up. Because in their testing of wanting to know what these things feel like, they burn them up so that I'm just a shell now. All I feel is anger and pain and tears, and even that soon will be gone, and then I won't have any of that either. I'll just be numb, empty, a carcass, a shell that lives and walks, and that's all I'll be. Maybe then they'll be able to fill up me with whatever they want. Maybe they'll have enough knowledge of emotions to be able to create them in me. But will I be able to feel them really? Will I? Is that what they want to do? Be able to create emotions so that they can invade this world by making people apathetic to their invasion and even almost welcoming them, believing that it is the right thing. Isn't it strange how wars are taking place, that when you look back at the facts, you think, how did we possibly allow our country to go at war? And yet we believe them. How did we believe them? Because we were made to believe, not by any ingenious, but a very, very subtle way, by sound patterns, by brain patterns, by words, by those who have this power. And what if that image I saw, that grey image, was not an alien? What if it was another man? Of course, because that's been our whole history, hasn't it? Domination of man over man.